I mean, yesterday I was listening to a podcast with two neuroscientists that work with infant brain and parental brains. And they were saying that actually just like spending the day with your child, you are doing so much. But because like if you have a partner that like does have a 9 to 5 and they come home and they're like, so what did you do today? And you're like, well, nothing. But actually you spend the whole day like feeding your child or like teaching them how to move and crawl and like all these different skills that they're learning from you just being present with them. And you're also learning as how to be a parent as well, because we're not taught these things. So it's actually you are working, but in our society where it's viewed as you're doing nothing.
Hello, welcome to Eat, Cringe, Heal, where nourishment meets self-discovery and laughter is part of the healing process.
I'm Saba, a certified nutrition consultant and holistic chef, passionate about transforming lives through food because healing starts from the inside out.
And I'm Wada, the creator of The Cringe Method, here to shake up your personal growth journey with a mix of deep insights, uncomfortable truths, and a whole lot of cringe.
Together, we dive into the messy, magical intersection of food, vulnerability, and self-evolution. Whether you're here for the recipes, the real talk, or those, oh my God, same moments, pull up a seat. We're serving up nourishment for your body, mind, and soul.
So let's begin. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Eat, Cringe, Heal. Today we are talking about the weight of motherhood. So Sabs, how was being a mom this week?
It's, different every week. We've been trying night weaning with Naima, and we have a guest at the moment, so I've had to go back into the family bed after being in the guest room for the last couple of weeks, which was really nice. So yeah, I've been basically working at night and during the day as a mom, and also been kind of trying to be an entrepreneur in the meantime, in between somehow. Yeah, it's been interesting. I've definitely had better weeks. I feel a lot more tired than I usually do, because I think my body got used to just sleeping for longer periods of time. And then it was like crash back down into being needed throughout the night, which, is okay.
I mean, what is sleep?
Yeah, you're in the trenches at the moment.
Sleep who? Who's that? Yeah, I know this whole trying to be entrepreneur, trying to be a mom, and just doing. It's been really challenging also for me, because I just want to get the work going. I want to wake it up, and I feel I have a lot of ideas coming out, because during my pregnancy, if you heard from last episode, was not my favorite place or time. So I felt like a lot of my creativity was focused on creating this baby, and now my creativity is coming up and I have great ideas and I feel like I figured it out. So I really want to get working, and I have all these amazing projects that I want to be part of, but then I have to stop and pause and remember, I don't want the laptop next to her while she's feeding, or while I'm just supposed to be present, watching her, being there with her. So it's a crazy journey. And night weaning, girl, I'm already thinking about it. I'm at 6 months and a half.
Yeah.
So what have you tried with the night weaning? So would you mind sharing? What are you doing?
Yeah, so basically we co-sleep with Naima. She sleeps in the bed with us, and she has done since she was about 4 months old, because she started teething super early. So she's in our bed. So basically the way that we've been doing it is that Tarek, my husband, has taken over the night shift, we call it. And I have been sleeping in the guest room. I mean, before we started this, I got a book that is great. It's called Nurses When the Sun Shines. And I read that to her for 2 weeks. She loved it. She thought the story was great. And then I was like, okay, prepared her for the book.
So what's this book about?
So it's basically about a co-sleeping family that it's the mom kind of telling the baby that when the night comes, and the moon is out and it's nighttime, then everybody goes to sleep, including the nurses, or whatever we call them, miam miam. So I just changed it to miam miam, which is my boobs. So if she wakes up at night, then everybody's sleeping, she has to go back to sleep, and I'll comfort her, but I won't give her my boob, which is like the easiest way to get her to go back to sleep.
I know. I'm thinking about that.
And also for me to get back to sleep as well, I've realized, but because of the melatonin that's released at night. But basically then when the sun comes out, then everybody wakes up, including Miam Miam. So she's got quite a strong temperament. So the way that we did it, after speaking to a few friends who have also experienced the same thing, is that they suggested that I sleep in the guest room and Tarek stays with her. And whenever she wakes up, to like console her, remind her of the story, and kind of just keep going. We thought it would be like a few days. It was 2 weeks, and she's still like, she understands, but she doesn't like it. So she'll wake up, and he can actually get her back to sleep now pretty easily. But then once I join them back in bed, she doesn't want anything to do with him. And she's like, no, Papa, no, Mama. We're trying to figure it out. Let's see.
Are you having guilt come up at all?
Yeah. Totally, of course. Like, especially the first few nights, because my body's been so used to like waking up every couple of hours to feed her that I was waking up and then I could hear her waking up and crying. I mean, she wasn't crying for very long, but like, there were a couple of nights where I'm like, should I go in there and like just bin this idea? So yeah, I don't know. It was a little bit
And
stressful.
how did you deal with the guilt?
How did I deal with it? I basically realized that, yeah, I mean, she's very safe. She's not like on her own or anything. She's with her dad, who she loves. It actually, their connection has kind of gotten a lot stronger, I feel, in the last few weeks. So yeah, I mean, it was just more of my own internal thing. So, and then once my sleep started getting better, I was like sleeping 6 to 8 hours straight. I was like, I don't feel guilty at all.
Yeah, because you end up being better. You end up being more present and more able.
Yeah, that definitely. Like during the day, I was like completely different person. I had so much more energy. I was so much more present with her. I wasn't annoyed with her, which was like, obviously it's not her fault. She's waking up to do that. That's what she's designed to do. But yeah, it was very, very different. And then the beginning of this week, I was just like, felt like I'd been smacked in the face. But I'm getting used to the night wakings again. It's a lot less, but yeah, it's still present.
Yeah, it's like my daughter, I just feel like as soon as I walk in, she can smell me. Like, even if she's deeply sleeping, she'll wake up. And it's like a few times she'd be sleeping in the hammock and she'd be great. And then I'll just be sitting there watching the hammock and checking if she's still breathing.
I've been there.
And then and I'm so tired. I really want to sleep, but I won't let myself sleep just in case something happens. It's really intense.
Yeah.
But then there's this like cringe work that I have to do within myself. And I think the cringe is, I'm not ready. So, and she's just right there.
It's still pretty early on though, with you too.
Yeah, but I just want to like sleep 2 hours by myself.
Yeah, I understand.
During the night, what's happening is, because of the position I'm sleeping in, my sciatic nerve is like flaming, like flaring up.
Yeah.
And so now the last few days I had to like wake up by myself and just walk it off or just kind of stretch. And it's been really, really rough to sleep with the pain. So that's been my work this week.
Try some Epsom salt baths before bedtime if you can, or if you don't have the luxury of taking a bath, just the magnesium oil is really good to rub into your sciatic nerve, like wherever start on like your lower back and then kind of like go down your leg. That'll help. It'll also help you sleep as well.
Yeah, I thought about it last night, but then I was like, got lazy.
You could even put some on her feet, by the way, if you want.
She doesn't like her feet being touched.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's really funny because I'll be able to, because, I did this massage class, blah, 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 baby massage class and all this. And as soon as I touch her feet, she's like, her toes go this way. She wants to pull away. So
maybe she's really ticklish.
I'm like, okay. I'll leave you alone. But yeah, and she's been eating like a maniac. So all the things that we talked about, she threw them out the window because all she wants to do is eat. Like the other day, she grabbed a croissant from my hands.
Who had the croissant?
She went for it. She ate half a croissant herself, and I was just sitting there. She loved the crunchiness. She loved the mess. She loved all of it.
Yeah, croissants are dangerous. Naima got introduced to them when she was 1, and if she could eat them all the time, she would, but obviously we don't have them all the time. But when her grandma's here, Tarek's mom, thankfully she lives halfway across the world.
I could have croissants every day, I would.
Yeah.
Best thing. So while you're going through this and you're doing this, because I always feel that when we go through a hard time and when I have hard nights, I need to eat a lot more and I need to eat a lot better. So how are you helping yourself with foods? What nutrition are you focusing on now that you're doing the night weaning and all that?
Well, so basically at night, before I go to bed, I'll have some magnesium again in water. I use the Calm. It's like a brand called Stuff. Yeah, that stuff's great. And before that, like a few hours before, I'll have some like chamomile tea, rose tea, something like that for the heart, just to kind of calm me down a little bit. And like,
do you do rose by itself?
I find it a bit too strong by itself. It kind of gets a bit bitter. So it'll be mostly chamomile, and then I'll add a couple of rose buds.
Okay.
I do that, or like Tulsi I like to do as well at night, which is nice. It's good for the nervous system. And then if in your case, because you're probably feeding a lot more than I am, I would either have like these little energy balls that I make beside the bed, or just some nuts that I could just grab and like snack on. And then during the day, like starting the day off with like quite a high protein breakfast, 2 to 3 eggs. Mostly I've been doing boiled eggs because Naima's really into cracking the eggs now, like she likes tapping the shell. So every morning she's like, eggs. I'm like, okay, eggs. So that with some like healthy fats, like avocado, and yeah, that's kind of the main thing I've been having. And then some like veggies. Yeah. I try not to start with like a very sweet breakfast because it just makes me crash, and I'm already crashed. So I need like sustenance to keep me going. Yeah.
So that's interesting, because whenever I feel like really bad, if I have a breakfast that's full on like 3 eggs and just full proteiny, I feel a lot better. But then if I have pancakes or something that's sweet, I will definitely feel anxious, because that's how I crash. My anxiety just goes up.
Yeah.
And so how are you feeling about going back to work?
So I was studying all of last year while I was like from Naima being 4 months old, I was studying. So I was kind of already like juggling that, like a lot of late nights staying up trying to do tests and exams and stuff. But yeah, right now it's been super kind of, it comes and goes. Like I'll have weeks which are great and I can get a lot of work done and I'm like on a roll, or days. And then the next day, like she either gets sick or I don't know, she has, thankfully most of her teeth have come in now. So she's not teething anymore. I kind of like now I've put my expectations a lot lower. And I found that helps me so much. So instead of like making my calendar available, like doing like for my consultations, for example, like being available like 5 days a week, I've done like, okay, if I do consultations, I'm going to do them on like 2 days a week. And these are the times that I'll be available. And I like block off those times. And it's like, and the other days are the days where I'm only with Naima. Because there was like so much guilt that was coming up, and on the days where I was working a lot, or like I just felt like I couldn't balance it. So I felt like having that loose structure. Obviously, you never know what's going to happen because they're still babies and they need us so much. And I'm lucky that Tarek is basically the one who's working in a different way, but like he's said to me, I'm happy to support us for this time, until you get back. into the routine. But like but like my work right now is also like my main job is looking after Naima. And I forget that a lot.
It feels for me that it's about also me feeling, because I've always had this kind of fear of losing myself and losing my creativity and losing my passions when I become a mom, and kind of just getting attached to this total identity of totally just being a mom. And I used to have a lot of guilt about it. But so now I'm allowing myself to be that, but at the same time allowing my passions and my creativity to feed into it too. Because I really feel that when I disconnect from just being a mom for the 20 minutes or the 30 minutes or even the hour to take care of myself, or to be able to, because my work is to take care of, is part of it is selfishly taking care of myself, because it's something that I've built and something that I love doing. And it's just, I've had to accept that I have to change how it went. So I also reduced my prices a lot, because I wasn't able to keep the schedules for everybody else. And I had to lower the prices, because like, okay, lower your expectations, because every week a session, I'm not going to be able to. And I have some of my clients that have been with me for a very long time, that they've accepted that, okay, I'll message you when I have a window, and if you're free, we'll hop on and do a session. And this has been really great. So also my clients being flexible. So the lowering of expectations, the taking a lot less people than I used to, but now I'm also getting creative with what I'm offering. So I've decided I'm going to offer some really interesting, weird thing I've never done before, but I think it's going to be really great. So now that I have that, I want to get it done. Because when you're an entrepreneur and you're doing it yourself, you're not going to a job from 9 to 6 and etc. No, you're marketing, your sales, your everything, your finance, your taxes, your you're everything, and you're the one who's showing up and doing the session at the same time, so it's just all the logistics around it has been really crazy. But then she's also about to crawl, and I'm just like, I just want to be there and just help her and do free movement, but I feel guilty. So it's all this crazy balance. But I think reducing expectations is one of the biggest things I had to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, it took me a while, and I still catch myself. I feel like it's an ongoing process, and thankfully my partner is an amazing person that I can just share. I can just be like, blah, this is how I feel, blah. And he will kind of listen and understand, and he'll be like, it feels like I don't need to give you a solution. Like, you already have figured it out yourself. And if you want me to give you a solution, I can try and help you. But,
he found the magic trick.
Yeah.
Of just being there and listening.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, yesterday I was listening to a podcast, with two neuroscientists that work with infant brain and parental brains. And they were saying that actually just like spending the day with your child, you are doing so much. But because like if you have a partner that like does have a 9 to 5 and they come home and they're like, so what did you do today? And you're like, well, nothing. But actually you spend the whole day like feeding your child, or like teaching them how to move and crawl, and like all these different skills that they're learning from you just being present with them. And you're also learning as how to be a parent as well, because we're not taught these things. So it's actually, you are working, but in our society where it's viewed as you're doing nothing. And sadly, we're not paid for this job.
In China, you are.
In China?
Yeah. I've read somewhere that in China, they do count, I don't know if it was during divorce or whatever, that they actually do count the time where the woman is staying with the child at home and as work, because it is work.
It is. It's like a non-stop job.
And it's just, I'm also lucky that my partner and my husband is so great when it comes to taking her away from me.
Yeah.
I mean, Tarek does the night shift. Seth gives me 3 hours of sleep in the morning.
Yeah. Well, that's what we were doing before. It's, you need to somewhere sleep, try and get some rest.
And because thankfully, Seth is also works from home. We both run our businesses from home, that he's able to kind of give me that time, because I don't think I'll be able to survive if I didn't have that time in the morning.
Makes a huge difference.
And then sometimes going to Pilates twice a week and just, it's like my only alone time. But having commenting on what you were saying about her being, about teaching them new skills and stuff, my biggest focus these days about teaching her is how to deal with frustration.
Yeah, there's a lot of frustration in that time period as well, because they're kind of starting to be mobile, right? But they can't do exactly what they want to do.
Yeah.
How's that going?
I was like, I'm leaving. Like the other day, I ended up just like, I had this intuitive feeling where I'm just like, I'm not going to give you boob to soothe. I'm just going to hold you and I'm going to let you cry it out in my arms until, because also I was giving her boob and then she was fussing and biting and doing all that. So I was like, okay, let's kind of, because she was trying to do something and then she didn't. So I just held her. And I think she spent like 40 minutes just crying and then looking at me. Can I keep going? And I'm like, yep, you can keep going. And I just like held that space. And I'm like, okay, it's okay to be frustrated. You can. It's okay. And that takes so much, because it's about disengaging from her emotions and allowing myself to have my emotions, but not project them on her.
Yeah.
Because when a baby cries, it's like so much comes up for you.
Yeah. I mean, and also it's like amplified for the parent, their cries, because we're wired to be alert when our baby cries. So.
But it's just like, she just wanted to cry, and I needed to respect that. She needed to just be like, this is not working. I don't know what to do about this. And I kind of told myself, this is what she's trying to say, but she doesn't have the words to say it. So I'm just going to hold the space.
Yeah.
So it's like this battle between.
Yeah. Or like trying to distract from that. It's like, no, it's important for them to also just feel.
Yeah, I was just looking at it.
Because it's like a process, isn't it? It's like us. I mean, I wish we had those tools, or I had those tools earlier on in my life, where it's like, I can be allowed to cry and like feel the emotion passing through my body and like experience it, and then let go of it, instead of like holding it in, suppressing it, and it doesn't manifest in a different way.
But you know what's crazy? It's like, as soon as when I do this, or when she's crying in the car, but I know that it is safer for her to be in the car seat than me holding her and taking her out and soothing her. Okay. What I do is I just stop a few times and just walk her outside and near a park and near a petrol station, and then go back and keep going. But because that's the only way I could not be at home all day. And then you go online and then you see all these like guilt things. If you sleep train your child, you're gonna set them up to have personality disorders, and I don't know what. And then I'm thinking, I'm lucky that I can stay with my child and I don't have to work right away. But what about the moms that have to? And it's like all this weight of and guilt of like all these people's expectations and all these neuroscientists that are coming up. Like, you heard really good ones that are soothing, but then there's this woman, man, everybody keeps sharing, and I just feel guilt.
What's her?
I don't know her name.
Okay.
I don't know. She just keeps doing interviews, and she keeps telling people, if you take them to school, you're gonna ruin them before 3. But but every child is different.
Yeah.
Like the other day, I went to meet one of my mom friends, and we went to this baby place. Like, there was a cafe that had an area for children to play. And then I can see my baby not wanting to sit with me. She just wanted to be there. And intuitively, I'm like, oh, she's going to be ready to go to nursery soon, because that's what she wants. She wants to do that. But then you go and you see this, and then you go and you see this person. If you do it. And I just feel like motherhood is already weight.
There's definitely like the extremes, right? And there's always like, you're going to be made to feel bad in whatever extreme it is that's out there. And I feel like a lot of those people, especially on social media, are trying to get, it's like clickbait, isn't it? So they're trying to get more people to like look at their profile or whatever. But sadly, people take this on as like truth, or it's just an exaggerated form. Like sadly, we haven't kind of carried on the tradition of being mothers, or like we were kind of somewhere along the way, we were kind of
industrialized, turned into factory workers.
Yeah. And, or like trusted, like my mom was always like, if there's anything remotely happening with my daughter, she's like, take her to the doctor. I'm like, why? She's like, whenever there was anything wrong with you guys, I would just call the doctor or go to the doctor. I'm like, that's nothing to do with a doctor. Like
my mom, even if there's nothing wrong, like the other day she was like, oh, did you take her to the doctor to check if she could eat?
I know, but that's the thing, because we've kind of lost the tradition. Like all of those things were not passed down for some reason, and we've lost that village, which everyone talks about. You need a village, but like we don't know where the village is, and we haven't known for like generations, I believe. It depends obviously where in the world you're from, but I feel like even in like the Middle East, like we don't really have
so
that.
Many traditions that died.
Yeah.
Because you know what, I'm this mother's book club, another thing, okay, on my list. We're reading Hunt, Gather, Parent. So I'm on like just chapter 4, and it talks about Mayan children. And it's this woman who went to research societies that were not affected by the industrialization of the Western world, because our societies are completely westernized and, you know, moving in that direction. But these societies have not. And the way their children are a lot more helpful, their children are a lot more independent, and she went to see why. And it was because of one of the biggest things is this passed down knowledge from one generation to another.
I mean, I feel like ways that we can try and maybe build that, rebuild that, reconstruct that is by connecting with other mothers, creating our own networks. And yeah, like you're saying, your book club, like that kind of can be a way of kind of changing that paradigm. And it's not just for us, it's like also for our children and their children, because if we don't do it, then I feel like we're going to be asking AI for everything.
Which we're already doing. But the thing is, you know what? And she's so compassionate, dear. This is another topic for another day. Yeah. But I found that having mother friends helps me with my mother guilt, especially the moms that have more than one.
Yeah.
The moms who have older kids than you, they'd be like, yeah. So I was freaking out when my baby took the croissant, but I had my friend there who had a 3-year-old, and she was like, let her, she wants it, let her, it's okay. And I was watching her, she's like, she's fine, she knows what she's doing, relax. I was like this, you don't need to be like this. And it just helps so much when you have somebody there saying, she's not gonna die.
Yeah, no. Babies have eaten croissants and not died, it's fine. But obviously that's not what you're feeding her every day. And like, whatever, she wanted to try it, she tried it, she loved it, I'm sure. But yeah.
Oh yeah. Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's, you know, she loves carrots, she loves eggs, she's like crazy.
Yeah.
She loves bone marrow.
What's a croissant thrown in there now and then? I mean, it's okay.
I know, that wasn't my plan. I didn't want to give her carbs. But then she grabbed it and my friend was like, it's okay, relax.
Yeah.
And that night she was like, you're going to thank me. Because that night she actually slept. And I was like, oh my God, I should buy more croissants.
Croissant only diet.
Diet, French. But yeah, definitely, having mother friends is a bit of a replacement of that village, because I feel like our mothers are a bit like corrupt.
Yeah, sadly.
Because they're like, it's crazy. Every time I message my parents, not only my mother, I message my parents, the first thing they're gonna comment about is her safety. Like yesterday, I sent a photo with her having yogurt, and then she had yogurt all over her face. Yeah. My mother was like, "Oh my God, she's gonna get yogurt in her eye, And I'm like, woman, relax. Even if she does get yogurt in her eyes, we'll wash it, we'll clean it. She's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
she's not gonna die because yogurt went close to her eyebrow. But you take her to the doctor.
Yeah, sad.
I know.
I mean, another kind of thing for me was because the females in my family are quite, like, I guess, feminists. And my mom went straight back to work, like, 2 weeks after she had me. Full time. Yeah. But, she did it, and her and my sister would be like asking me, so when are you going to start working again? Like when Naima was like 3 months old, I'm like, not anytime soon. And I am working. Like, I don't, like, they don't, yeah. So them not seeing it for me was like quite a surprise in a way.
Yeah. But also I think it triggers the guilt.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, maybe.
And I think like it makes you feel like you're not good enough or you're not doing enough. I think that's the biggest thing when they ask these questions.
Yeah. I mean, it was really tough. And obviously here in Dubai, everybody has nannies, and we have a nanny as well. I'm very grateful for her. But I make a conscious effort of making sure that I'm with Naima for the majority of the day, and she's with Naima for a part of the day. Obviously, some days when I'm working, like, she's with her for longer periods. But yeah, people here are just like I go up to the playground and I'm the only mom. There's like one other mom and like everybody else is a nanny, and like the moms aren't working, like they're just, or they're maybe like doing something else, but like the whole day the kid will be with a nanny. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like you do what you want. But I find like for me, there's the guilt on both sides, like the guilt from like working.
And the guilt from not working.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, like.
Yeah, and I think it's also like when you have everybody around you, they have nannies and the children are staying with the nannies most of the time, and they're working or not working, doesn't matter, but they're doing whatever they need to do. Yeah. And you're like, oh, maybe I should do this.
Maybe I'm doing something, wrong, exactly. On top of like hearing all the other stuff from family members, and you're just like.
Exactly. And because my mother was like, she's still freighting at 6 months? Like, yeah. But I think eventually she got it. She's like, now she's changed the stance, and she's like, oh yeah, she's still young. But she had to work at 2 months, and she had to wean me in 2 months, and that's kind of all the breastfeeding I got, And it's like when you want to do things differently, it's a harder way because everybody around you is like,
Yeah. You just have to be like, it's like, okay, this is how I'm doing it, and you're gonna like it or not, but like this is how it's happening. And
the thing is, it's like also I'm gonna keep pressing on social media because I just see a lot of effects. So you see all these people doing all these great things, but then your body still hurts from giving birth, and your body still has stuff even a long way after, and you're like, oh, how are they doing these things and I can't? And it's like a vicious cycle of more weight. So I think the best thing to do is have conscious mother friends. Find conscious mother friends. Not all mother friends are good for you, by the way. Find the ones who align with your beliefs. They don't have to be exactly like you, but they align with your beliefs. But also find other ones that are doing things a bit differently than you, so you can kind of bounce off ideas because it's another set of eyes.
Yeah.
And nutrition, protein.
Try to delay your caffeine intake, ladies, in the mornings if you can. I had stopped caffeine for like over a month, and then at the beginning of this week, I'm like, I'm so tired. Reached for the coffee 2 days in a row, and those 2 days were great for the beginning for like 2 hours, and then I crashed super hard.
But you always had that. You have issues.
I have issues
with coffee. Just don't attack my coffee, please.
Yeah, I know, but also it does make a big difference in terms of like how you're feeling in your adrenal glands and everything. So you're already feeling like shot try to delay your coffee until like later in the morning. Once you've eaten, like it's best not to have on a...
You know what I've found is that because my wonderful husband has been doing this thing for me for ages, okay, and he brings me coffee in bed, okay, as a token of his love. And I love it so much. Now I've gotten so used to it that I need it to be able to get out of bed. And that's an issue that I have. I'm like, maybe I need to find a different way to get out of bed.
Yeah, I mean, it is important because your body, like just by seeing light, your body starts to kind of use its own wake up system. So just allowing that time, I know it's difficult. And I mean, when I stopped coffee and I wasn't even drinking that much, I had like a headache and all for like about 3 or 4 days. It's like a proper come down off of
it's an addiction.
Yeah, it is addiction. It's a strong addiction. And like even the days, like the last Monday and Tuesday, like I had coffee. I'm like, I want more coffee. Where can I get another coffee? But yeah, I mean, not saying coffee is bad. Coffee is very helpful. There's lots of benefits to drinking it. But if you're already, like your adrenal glands are already shot, you haven't slept, it's not as helpful as it seems to be. Or at least eat before you've had it. Give yourself like 20 minutes at least to just wake up naturally.
You know what's been helping me? So I've been taking 3 grams of creatine in water in the morning. And I've been doing this for like 2 weeks now.
Why are you taking creatine?
So I read somewhere that it helps you with your energy levels and brain fog. Like a scoop in warm water, like not lukewarm, just like a little warm. And then I'll mix it in, it'll melt, and then I'll just have it. And I find that it really, really helps. Like I'm able to kind of move, and the brain fog is a lot less. But you have to get really good, well-sourced creatine.
Yeah. Let me know the brand. I'd be interested in knowing more about the research that's been done on it. But somebody else, another good friend of mine had mentioned creatine. She's like, do you take creatine? I was like, no. I just remember the jocks at my boarding school used to take creatine.
So there's a lot of new research now about how creatine is beneficial for women.
Oh, yeah. For menopause, I've heard that it's beneficial because a lot of women experience brain fog during menopause.
And also helps with, even your physical goals. Because, as we get older and we lose more muscle, it's really harder and harder for us to gain muscle. Yeah. And gaining muscle in our old age, having muscle for our old age is really important because most of, another topic as well. And it's most of the early deaths of elderly people is because of unexpected falls because of muscle mass, which is really interesting.
That's another episode I think we can definitely talk about. That's next week. Maybe.
Definitely. But for now, the weight of motherhood should not bring you down.
Yes.
You can do it. And no matter where you are and what you're doing your best.
Yes.
And that's perfect. And that's more than enough for your child. In the end of the day, all these children need is love and presence. And hopefully we'll see you in the next episode. So tune in next time. Follow us, subscribe, and make sure you send your questions over also and any topics you're interested in. Thank you for listening to this episode today. If you enjoyed this episode, please click like, subscribe to support us.
You can also find us on Instagram at eat.cringe.heal, also on YouTube and anywhere where you can listen to podcasts.
See you on the next episode.